Hello everybody, this is Alyssa from Make Arts and Crafts, and today we are doing a WIP and chat. WIP stands for Work in Progress. Chat, we're going to sit here and chat, talk a little bit about the week, what I've been up to, what I'm planning for, all that fun stuff as we give forward. And I was feeling really lazy, and I did not feel like moving my, what is it called? My filming arm? Tripod, canvas thing. I didn't feel like moving it from where it sits right there to over there to film on my easel where I normally do for where I normally work on my WIPs. So I was like, well, what can I do, because that's too much effort. So I'm like, we're gonna do Paintgem today because I'm feeling lazy. So we're doing Paintgems. Sorry, I have a little bit I start talking and I get a little bit of my wheezy cough. So for the Paintgems, I'm just working with what I have right here on my desk. So I'm going to use this beautiful pen from Peachy Keen Pens. And then this is the tray that happens to be on my desk because it's what I was using for my mystery kit. So this is going to be a Bella Artana Cool tray. And then if I have to recharge, I will be recharging with some Capricorn Mary Mud, because that's the putty that I have sitting out. So I already pulled out all of the mandalas, or the mandalas. I already pulled them all out of the big box, so they're all sitting here. I take the thing that wraps around the box and I cut it like this, so that way I can put it in my logbooks. That's what that is. And now we have all the baggies. I took them out of their little baggie sleeve, and now I'm going to do my kitting up that I do for my Paintgems, which is extremely minimalistic. So all of the bags, as you can see, have like the 820s. They have the DMC on there. So when I'm working on Paintgems, this is the extent of what I do. I slap this on there and I just go down through. And that's all we're going to do, is we're going to put the these on. I am going to put these in a semblance of order. Not right now. I'm just going to put them down here. Oh, hi, Sush. Because I am going to show you how I normally order my my stuff for my Paintgems, so you can see the method of my madness that I do for Paintgems. So we're gonna kind of get into it and see. So hopefully everybody has had a wonderful week. Alphabet, so I'll put numbers, alphabets, and special symbols. That's how I'm gonna kind of order this, so that way we can go from there. So it's gonna have a semi ordered, but then I'll organize again once I get from there, and go from there. So yeah, hopefully everybody's had a wonderful week. This has been, I can tell that I'm getting close to needing my Botox injections, because this has been a very migraine, this is one of my favorite colors, is 3812. This has been a very migraine heavy week for me. I've had like multiple migraine days this week already. So that's, I'm like trying to think, what did I even do? No power outages this week at work, thankfully. No network losses at work this week. Thankfully, it's been a much better work week than what it was last week. Last week was just like the week that it was like, is this week over yet? Because I'm done. I'm done with this week. That's how I felt last week. This week, not quite. This week was much better. In that same sense. I didn't have that same kind of overwhelming sense of I'm done with the week, let's move on. None of that. So that was a good thing. But I'm trying to think. Let's see. Monday, normal day. Oh, Monday. Oh my goodness. You wouldn't believe it, you guys. So Monday, normally I get to work and the hospital is kind of like an average temperature. It's not super ridiculously cold, but it's also not super ridiculously hot. It's kind of like so-so. It can be a little chilly, but it's not like atrociously cold where you can't function at the hospital. The part that gets super cold is when I'm over at my other clinic. That one is atrociously cold usually. And it's like, I think the ambient temperature is set for something like 67 or something like that. I think it's set for like 67. So that's like the normal temperature in there is like, and it's chilly, but it's not horrible. Like you can function and it's fine. Look at how few white 5200 we're going to have in there. Look at this massive bag of 310 that we got. Big old bag of 310. So it's like, you know, the, and I always see, I'll reuse these little labels, so I'll save that and put it off to the side. So now we're going to alphabetize this, or not, yeah, we're going to put it in order. So I'll do A, B, well, I usually do, yeah, I'll do alphabet, and put them in their actual order. So basically, T, V, oh, that's got some stickiness to it. Basically, what was I even gonna say? Oh gosh, what was I gonna say? Trying to show, well, let's put this in order and then I can talk, because otherwise I'm not gonna be able to do it. O, P, Q, Z, X, Y, Z, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V. So we're going to take the black out because that just is too big and it doesn't want to be there. So we've got those. And now we've got 8, 2, 3, 6, and 8. Those. Now we're going to break this down into a little bit more readily visible columns. All right, so that way I can see what I'm working with. 2, 3, 6, 8, X. And we are ready to rumble. Let's see. We can come down and give you guys the important part, which is actually coming into where I'm working on the mandala itself, because that's what you guys actually care about, is this. So we're going to come down on here, on the mandala. I think if I turn the light on there, it's going to be all glary. Yeah. So, because I could work off to the side over here. No. Yep. It's going to have too much of a glare. So we're going to turn the overhead off and just work right there with our colors. So you guys will see the close-up of the mandala. I'm going to do the blacks first. That's what I'm going to work on. All right. So anyways, ooh, something itched and now my, yeah, itchy spot. So anyways, we had, so Monday, what was I saying about Monday now that we've got that going? Monday. Oh, yes. So normally comfortable temperature, and Monday I came into the clinic, and I was like, okay, this is a little warmer than normal. Like, that's odd. But I didn't think much of it because, you know, sometimes that happens. No big deal. And it wasn't atrociously hot outside or anything. Oh, I was going to use this one. It wasn't atrociously hot out or anything like that. So I was like, okay, no big deal. We can work with this. Well, as the day progressed, it got hotter and hotter and hotter in that clinic. And then by lunchtime, and it like progressed to get warmer and warmer. Like, and it's something that when it's a few degrees like that, it's noticeable in our clinic because it's such a steady state temperature in there typically. I mean, like, we're used to it being like a little frigid ice box. So the fact that it was already like 70 in there was significantly warmer than normal. So then at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, after lunch, I pulled my 1300 or my 1 o'clock patient back, and I looked at the thermostat next to my office door as I was pulling my patient back, and I'm like, okay, it says that it is currently, I'm going to restock my putty. I'm like, it says that it is currently, 77 point, I think it said it was 77 point, what did it say? 77.5 degrees at 1300. And I'm like, okay, I will keep an eye on it. And if it continues to climb, because it was getting really warm at that point, like if it continues to climb when I'm done with this patient, I'll call facilities and we can see about getting somebody out here to fix this. In that 40 minutes that I had that patient in there in my office, so from 1 o'clock to 1:40, the temperature climbed from 77.5 to 78.6 degrees. It was that quickly that temperature kept climbing. And I was like, okay, we're not doing this anymore. We are done. So I called facilities and was like, and they always ask, because I always say, this is so-and-so calling from the physical therapy clinic at this building, because facilities is in a different building. I'm calling because the temperature in the physical therapy clinic is currently at this temperature, and like the temperature should be set at, this temperature, and the thermostat is set at this temperature. And they're like, oh yeah, well, I just watched, the temperature climb from 77.5 to 78.6 over the course of 40 minutes. And they're like, oh yeah, so she's like, this is up on the second floor. And I'm like, no, this is on the first floor. And I swear, I'm pretty much calling them on an every other week basis. I have to call the same exact people to come fix something about the thermostat in our office. I almost called them today, but I really just did not feel like dealing with it, and because it was so cold in there today. But they eventually got somebody out there to start fixing it right towards the end of the day. But when I left at the end of the day at 4 o'clock, the temperature in the clinic was up to 81.1 degrees. And I'm like, yeah, no, this is not going to fly. Like, I don't mind having 80 degrees in my house when it's, in the summertime, because I'm cheap and I don't like paying for air conditioning. That's still with my air conditioning running, because, when it's 120 degrees outside, 80 degrees inside is really not that bad. But I'm not going to, I also am not working out in my house at 80 degrees, because at 80 degrees, you go to do a workout or something, and you definitely are like, okay, that's a little on the warm side. It's a little bit different. So, yeah, it was just like, oh my goodness. It was a little toasty in there. These black ones are going to be a little hard to see because the 310, they're a little tricky to see, but we're making progress on them. Now you can see the glimmer of those drills as they catch the light. Let's see, does that do a better job? Oh, I think that does. Let me move this out of the way. There we go. I think that does a little bit of a better job. I can actually see what I'm doing now better. So, yes, so that was Monday. Super, super cold or super warm in the clinic. Tuesday, no big deal. Oh, and then Monday afternoon, I got a text from my mom saying that she was on, because my parents are in Michigan helping to close out my grandpa's and my grandma's estate in Michigan, because grandma died like 2 years ago, and this is my dad's parents, and then Papa ended up dying in January, but they haven't done anything in Michigan with the estate, so they're up in Michigan right now with my dad's the middle of the 3 kids, so they're up there with my my aunt and uncle, so my dad's siblings, kind of closing out and taking care of managing the estate, because it was too fresh to do everything in January, and they decided, okay, we're ready to do it now. So my dad is up there with his siblings, kind of doing everything now. So they were up there. They had gone up from Florida to Michigan to do that. Well, my mom had gotten a phone call from one of her sisters saying hey, basically that the ambulance was at another one of her sisters' houses. So my mom and that she wasn't doing well, so she headed over to one of her, was so basically I got a text from my mom saying that one of my aunts was not doing well. And sure enough, and basically, one of my aunts ended up passing away and dying on Monday afternoon. But thankfully and fortunately, my mom was actually already there in Michigan, so she was able to go straight over to her sister's house, be there with her other sisters who were there, and kind of help, kind of like be there through the whole process and do everything. And they actually had the funeral was Friday. It was basically the day that I'm filming this. Friday is when they did the funeral. Wasn't able to. My brother and I were already, because we set the funeral and the memorial and the funeral and everything for Papa is set for next weekend. So my brother and I are already set and have our flights and everything booked to fly to, now that my brother's back from deployment, we're set to fly back to Michigan for next weekend. But we weren't able to get, they weren't able to push because of like the, hold off that long on the funeral for Aunt Irene. So that, so that was, today for her funeral. So it's been a rough couple years for my family. But this was one of my mom's older sisters. She's one of 7 daughters. So she has 6 sisters, I believe. Yeah, so she has 6 sisters. So this was one of her older sisters, or one of the oldest sisters, because my mom is the youngest of the girls in her family. So they had the funeral, and they actually had asked, my dad is the one that did the eulogy or whatever you call it for the funeral, and did all of that. So, and I'm just glad that my mom was already there and didn't have to stress about trying to get everything together and rush up to Michigan to be there. Because there's nothing worse than trying to like rush last minute to make it up when you live, like to make it from Florida to Michigan for something like that last minute to be there with your family. So she was already there in Michigan. She got there like was there to be able to be there with her sisters who were like right there at the house with the paramedics and everything. So it was like, thankfully she was right there. And that was good for her to be there with, for her sisters, and the rest of the family that's still in Michigan for, the funeral yesterday. Cause there's so many of them on my mom's side of the family. The family's scattered all over the states. They're a little bit of everywhere. I've got family, a little of everywhere. From California to Florida to Iowa to Arizona to Texas. I'm trying to think of where else. Obviously still Michigan. I've got a little of everywhere with my family. They're just all over. But the bulk of them are, a good chunk of them are still in Michigan. And now, like, the generations of my mom's family are, like, compared to my dad's, it's a little bit different because my mom is the second youngest. So, her oldest brother was the same age as my dad's parents because, of the age difference between them all. So with that big difference in ages, it always made for like the generational difference between the two. Like my aunt that just died, and just like she was born in 1941. My mom was born in 1960. So there was like 21 years between them. And multiple siblings in between them as well. So a lot of other siblings in between them. But there's a big range between all of the, or between my mom and a lot of her siblings, because she was the, not quite the baby, because she has a baby brother, but she was the youngest daughter. But a huge difference. I was actually like doing the math, and I was like, my grandma Irving, my mom's mom, if she was still alive, like she was the same age as my dad's grandparents. So my grandma was the same age as my great grandparents. And she would be over, my mom's mom was born in 1917. So now that we're past 2017, like she would have been over 100 years old if she was still alive. Like that's crazy to think about, because she was born in 1917, and now we're into the 2020s, so she would have been over 100 years old. And my mom's dad was born in 1907, which is crazy to think about, because that just seems so crazy that's when my mom's dad was born. So yeah, it's just a little, like, the generations are so different on my mom's side of the family. But yeah, my brother and I will be flying back to Michigan. He'll be coming from Washington. I'll be coming from California. And we'll both be flying in. I told him he should have taken, he doesn't like to fly the airline that I like to fly. We like to fly different airlines. So funny. Because if he had chosen the same airline as me, we would have been on the same flight with the same connection from Dallas in, but he didn't choose the same airline as me, so he has a connection through O'Hare, whereas my connection is through Dallas. And I'm like, seriously, we could have been on the same flight and we could have sat together. And I'm like, you little stinker of a brother. Well, technically he's my older brother and he's taller than me, so he's not little. But I'm like, you're such a stinker, Joseph. You're such a stinker. Give him a hard time. Brothers, what can you do with them? But we'll be flying in basically just for the weekend because of like work stuff. So basically we'll fly in, we both get in, because we're both coming from the West Coast. So essentially it's like we leave for the airport essentially at the same time, me in California, him in Washington. And then we'll both, so we'll leave for the airport at the same time. We will have a similar time for our flights, similar length of layover. We'll both get into Michigan at the same time at the same airport. I think my flight gets in a little bit earlier than his flight, like maybe an hour and a half early. And then I'm like, rather than having my parents come pick me up and then we sit around and wait for forever, and I have to sit in the truck for a while and wait for my brother's flight to get in, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to sit and chill in the airport and have them come in, because then I can sit comfortably. So I'll just chill in the airport until, and just have them get there when my brother's flight gets in, which will be late. It'll be like a midnight. His flight gets in at like 11:30 p.m. or something like that. Pretty late. I think somewhere like late like that. And then we'll have Friday to spend with Sushi's doing things that she's not allowed to. We'll have a Friday to spend with family and do like the visitation style thing Friday evening. And then oh my goodness, that kitten. Sushi baby, come here. Don't meow at me. You come in, Sush? And then we'll have Saturday is going to be the funeral. And then Sunday, my brother and I will both fly back. And our flights are basically at the exact same time Sunday morning. So we will, which works because we coordinated all of that. Like, I already had booked my flights. So we coordinated his flights to line up with the timeline of my flights. So that way we had, like, going to the airport at the same time because the airport's, like, about 45 minutes or an hour from the the farm, or for my grandparents' house, which is where we'll be all staying. So that way we all can kind of, that way we get there and kind of go from there. So yeah, that's where we will fly out on Sunday. So it's gonna be a super whirlwind trip. My brother and I will both be in our dress blues, all dressed up and fancy for it. We're gonna be all fancy schmancy. And then, yeah, and then I'll fly back to work on Monday, after the funeral. So that'll be, yeah, like I said, it's a whirlwind trip. It's just a quick whirlwind of a trip, for that one. But that's the plan for that. Let's see, this week at work, other than, oh, yeah, so like I said, the thermostat super atrociously warm on, it was super, super warm in there on Monday. Well, then Wednesday wasn't as bad, but today, oh my goodness, I was freezing. It was so cold. I'm sitting in there and I'm like shivering, with like my fleece on as I'm sitting in there. So my uniform is long sleeves, and then I have like a long sleeve fleece on over the long sleeves. It was so cold. So cold. It's like, woo, we're making progress on it. I need to use the light pad behind this so it's easier for you guys to see. But look at that, making progress. I love the sparkle of these gems. And then we have, oh, and Thursday night, what did I do? Oh, yeah, Thursday we had an event for all the officers. So we went and did, like I said, farewell to somebody who was leaving. So we went to a sit-down restaurant, which is like my first time sitting down and hanging out like that in a while. So we did a sit-down restaurant, and just the ambient noise in there totally triggered a migraine. So I ended up with a bad migraine after dinner. So I came home and I had to take a migraine medication for it, which then of course was like, oh, guess what? I can't sleep because I took all of these meds at like 7 p.m. because that's when I got home. So of course it was like 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm like, I can't sleep. I need to go to bed. So I got up and went and took like the sleeping pill, which then did actually help. So by probably like 1:30, 1:45, I think I did fall asleep, which was good because normally I would have been still laying there until like the wee hours of the morning, which thankfully I did not have to do this time around. But still, I was super, super tired when I woke up this morning. Super tired when I got to work. And I'm like, and at lunchtime, I'm like, I was like, I can either, one, I was extremely cold. And two, I was like, I didn't take the time to grab a lunch from the house on my way to work. I was like, I can either, let me make sure I didn't miss any X's. I was like, I have choices here. I can either grab something for lunch, or I can sit in my car and thaw out and try to thaw out and pseudo like nap in my car. Those are like my two options, and I chose option number. I chose door number 2. That's the door that I chose, which was sit in the car and thaw out while I was, instead of eating lunch. So I forewent the lunch choice. It was really funny, but I was like, food or thaw out and sort of like basically nap. And the thawing out and napping won over food. But yes, and you guys will be watching this on Cinco de Mayo. So hopefully you guys are getting something good to eat. I'll probably order some kind of like Mexican food delivered to the house for Cinco de Mayo, because that sounds delicious. And I love me some good Mexican food. Look at how much of a difference it makes once I add those drills in and you see that color pop. Let's see. Ooh, is anybody getting anything on the new releases? I've been trying to do good about not purchasing things, but, and not every marker, and it's like Yume's, you guys know I buy every Yume. And I'm not like, I have not added Margaret Morales to my must buy every single art piece from her, because I don't like every single one that she puts out. But this one that just came out, with the goldfish, the goldfish on there, that one is one that I'm like, okay, this one I have to have. So I am going to get the Margaret Morales piece that is releasing tomorrow. That one I am picking up. So that one was one that was definitely a must-have for me. And then, let's see. Other than that, I am absolutely, I keep saying, oh yes, I'm going to finish Super Dragon. It'll be done by this time. And then I don't work on it. And I think it's like, I've been finding myself to have this like really short attention span. So if I don't, like, if I switch to another, like, painting or switch to another WIP, I get distracted and I don't work on whatever it was that I was working on. So since I haven't worked on Super Dragon, I worked on something else instead. I, like, kind of lose my motivation, even though it's, like, a beautiful painting and I want to work on it. I stopped working on it and worked on something else. So then I'm like, oh, I should probably go back and work on it. But I'm like, but I'm not working on it now, so I don't want to work on it now. I want to work on something else. I want to start a new painting. And I'm like, now I see why people end up with multiple WIPs, but at the same time, it bothers me to not have it finished. So I'm like, it bothers me that it's sitting there partially done. It also bothers me that I have multiple paintings kitted up, but not started yet, because I had kit them up thinking, oh, I'll do this at this point in time. And it bothers me that they're sitting there kitted up and ready to go, because I'm like, before I can start anything new, I'm like, I have to finish all of those ones that I have kitted up. Those are like must-dos. And it bothers me that I've got them like kind of pending, because I feel like I have to, even though I may not want to work on those ones now, I feel like I have to work on those now because they're already kit up. And it's just the way my brain works. It's like, no, I must do that first. Just like with all of my paint gems, my brain forces me to work on the paint gems in the order of when they were released. Not in the order that I want to. It's in the order that they were released. And I'm like, why? This makes no sense. There's no rhyme or reason to it. There's nothing that says you have to do them in a certain order. But if I try to do them out of order, I can't. It's like, no, I have to do them in that order. No rhyme or reason to it, but that's what it is. So I'm excited that I'm working on the mandalas, because guess what? I finally reached the mandalas in the order of where they fell in my Paintgem hoard. And I'm like, come on. Like, there's no reason why I couldn't work on these earlier, because I've been wanting to do the mandalas for ages, because I love mandalas, considering the fact that I have multiple mandala tattoos. I mean, multiple mandala tattoos. I've been wanting to do the mandalas for ages, and now I can finally actually do them. And I mean, like, look at how stunning this is looking just by adding the blues that I've added so far to the black. Oh, so gorgeous, so gorgeous. But yeah, it's like, so I want to, but now that so I'm like, I've got other ones that I want to kind of like move into, but since it's taking me so long to finish Super Dragon, because I keep getting distracted and doing other stuff instead, and being like, oh, let me work on that. Oh, let me do this one. This will be a quick project. But every quick project that I do means that that takes that much longer to finish Super Dragon. So I still have not finished Super Dragon. So the progress from my month in review video, that's as much as I've done. I haven't worked on Super Dragon since then. So I've not yet worked on Super Dragon in this month, which is fine. Like, I've got plenty of the month to go to work on it. But I have been working on, and I ran out of the square 310 drills to work on my cross-stitch conversion, because I want to finish the black 310 background of shelves 3 and 4 before I move on to start May's shelf, because I want to film a progress report, like an update on the progress of my my temperature cell cross-stitch conversion. So I'm like, I don't want to do anything more on it until I kind of like film that video, and then I can start working on May. But I mean, I did all of that work so far on that cross-stitch conversion in April. So I've made really good progress on that one in April, which was a lot of work to do. Now it's going to go much smoother and much quicker, because it's just a little bit here and there that I'll have to do the initial. So it's like, because I got all of like the really time consuming stuff done. But once I do the, let's see. So yeah, I haven't worked on Super Dragon, but one of the things that I have done as well, I did start, Sophie, the Diamond Help Desk, her Crafter's Den, which is her Discord channel. We have a mystery kit that we're doing together from Jaded Gem Shop. And we just started getting our mystery kit in. Mine came this week, and I immediately like kitted it up like that night and started working on it. And I have been working on that thing nonstop. And granted, I got a small one because I didn't know how, because that's my first time doing a mystery kit. And she prints hers in black and white, and she covers it with like a black release paper, or like a black film, so you can't see through it to see what you've got, even if you use like a light pad. So I've been working on the mystery kit, and oh my goodness, I am just like flying through it. I've sectioned it like most sane people section their canvas, like the normal size sections. Like here are some of the black cover that I've pulled off. So this is the Paintgem, and you can see in relation to a Paintgem the size of like the sections of that I've been cutting. So it's a 40 by 45, and I made it into 16 sections, and I have now finished 10 sections, and I've been working on it for I think like 3 days. I think I've been working on it for like 3, maybe 4 days, something around in there. Maybe 4 days, something like that. I think the first day I did 1 section, the second day I did 1 section, and then I did like 2 sections. The third day I did 2 sections, so that would be, that was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then, I've been flying through it, making really good progress on it, and I'm like, I can't stop, won't stop, must keep working. But it has been super fun to do, and I'm like, do I actually enjoy doing a mystery? Maybe I do. I have 1 mystery kit from Diamond Art Club in my hoard, and I'm like, maybe I need to actually keep it and work on it. But it's not as scary as I thought it was going to be, and I'm like, maybe this is actually something that I actually, am not as terrified of doing. But I did do like the smaller size that she had, because I didn't know if I was going to enjoy it, and I didn't want to be doing this massive mystery if I wasn't going to have fun with it. So I got a small one, so that way it would go quickly. And it is going quickly. Oh man, is it going quickly. I mean, I've got 10 sections done and only 6 sections left to go. And the canvas is looking so adorably pretty. It's gorgeous. I love it. I am super pleased with what I'm seeing. I'm actually working my way around the perimeter. So if this was the canvas, I started like here, worked up, worked over, worked down. So those are the 10 sections that I have done. I just have like the 6 sections in the middle. So 3 and 3, that's what I have done. I'm going to do these 2 sections, and I'll leave like the 4 sections in the dead center to go on it. But it is going really well. Like this mystery, it is going really well. I'm surprised at how well it's going. Very surprised at how well it's going. And I'm enjoying it, which surprises me even more that I'm actually enjoying working on a mystery kit. But you never know how it's going to go. And I guess that's one of those things where until you try something, don't judge it until you try it. Because I was like, oh, I'm going to hate doing mystery kits. I'm going to hate working on a black background, all this stuff. That's kind of what I had been saying to myself for like the last, 8+ months. I've been saying that. And I even put like the one mystery kit that I had in like a de-stash pile of stuff that I could de-stash and get rid of. And now I'm like, maybe I'll actually, because I like the image, because of course I knew exactly what image it was before I bought it, because I don't like surprises when I'm spending money. Unless it's from somebody I trust, like Jade and Sophie. So if they're picking an image for us to diamond paint, I knew they were going to pick a good one. That would be something that I would enjoy. Which is why I went ahead and did it. So yeah, I've been flying through that. That will be done really, really quickly. And that all means I'll have a finish already for the month, which is pretty awesome. And then I'll be like, do I start on my Super Dragon and make progress on Super Dragon? Because I need to. I need to make progress on Super Dragon. Well, I don't, because, you know, I want to make progress on Super Dragon. So, look at that. That's the same color as this tray. I normally don't like to use drills that are the same color as the tray, but sometimes it happens. But anyways, that's kind of where I'm at with that and kind of what my agenda is. It's been kind of, it's been very much that one doesn't want to, my putty needs adjusted. Ooh, it's overflowing and I needed to squish it flat. There we go. Putty down, putty down. But yes, I have filmed all of the clips for my hoard, my diamond painting hoard video. So that I have filmed all of the clips for it. I just need to edit and put it together. And now I'm just debating, do I start off my hoard stuff for you guys with the diamond painting hoard? Just lead strong and then follow it up with the other videos of like my trays, my pens, my putty collection, all of that afterwards? Or do I start with those and end with the diamond paintings? I'm debating. I'm trying to decide which way I want to go with that. Because I feel like the hoard is kind of like the climax. And I should like have that be the last one of those videos that you guys get should be my diamond painting hoard. With it, whereas the other videos should be the ones that you guys start off with. But I don't know. You guys can let me know. I have now officially been on YouTube for basically for a year. I've done a year's worth of videos basically at this point now. My very first video that I put out on YouTube for you guys was actually my April month in review. And now we have an April 2024 month in review. So now I've officially done a year's worth of videos, which is like crazy. I never thought that I would like still be doing this. I have a short attention span, and like I feel like my attention span has gotten even shorter over the last couple of years. And it is crazy to think that I've been doing this for a year and I'm still doing it. Like, who am I? What is this? Madness, I tell you, madness. And I'm still enjoying it. That's the biggest thing. I'm doing it and I'm still enjoying it while I'm doing it, which is why I'm still doing it. Like, if I wasn't having fun, I would just be like, I would not be doing this if I didn't enjoy it, because I'm not one to continue doing something just for the sake of doing it. That's not my style. If I'm not having fun with it, then we would be doing something different, because I don't got time to do something that I'm not enjoying. Life's too short. I'm too busy. No, really, I'm just too lazy to do stuff that I don't enjoy. Which is why we are not making as much progress on our dissertation as we should be making, because I'm not enjoying it. So it's hard for me to motivate myself to do it when I don't enjoy it. But that's another thing. That's another story. We're not going to talk about that. Let's not talk about Bruno. That's the Bruno in the room. So, anywho. But, yeah, so that's my dilemma. Do I start off with the other items in my hoard? Or do I just lead right out of the, like, race right out of the gate with the diamond painting hoard and then follow up with the smaller hoard items? I haven't decided. More to be determined. More to follow. We'll see. Because if I waited, I could potentially get some of those diamond paintings that I have ordered that are on their way could arrive, and then I could add those video clips in as like tail end video clips. So we'll see. Haven't decided. You never know. So, yes. Decisions. These are the things that I've been pondering in my brain. I also have to film ahead a couple videos for you guys. Like my video for next Friday. And then I haven't decided what I'm going to do for my WIP and chat for next week. Saturday, because I'm like, do I just completely skip the WIP and chat, or do I switch videos around? and post the WIP and chat on Monday, because I could do a WIP and chat for you guys on Monday that following week, and do my small shop haul on Saturday instead, if you guys would prefer, because I've got so many pens coming in that I could totally do that for you. You just have to let me know what you guys would prefer, because then I could still give you guys a WIP and chat. It would just be a delayed WIP and chat on Monday as opposed to any other time, because I will be getting back on Sunday, so I can film it Sunday night and put it up on Monday. I don't know. But then I'm like, would that be too close? Or do we just skip the WIP and chat for that week? I don't know. I haven't decided. Because I feel like the WIP and chats are like my favorite videos. And I feel like they seem to be everybody else's favorite videos. So I don't want to like not do it necessarily, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And Mom, we don't have good signal or service out at the farm where my grandparents live. It's kind of out in the boonies in Michigan. So I'm not going to have enough signal to be able to upload or I'm not going to have enough service. And I won't have Wi-Fi. I don't think my parents' Starlink has been working well up there, which for some reason it's been odd. It's got them baffled as well. So, because if that was working, then I would be fine. I could like film a video and upload a video, using my parents' RV just fine. But I think it's not been, their Starlink is like been malfunctioning or not working well at the farm. So, which is odd because normally it works just fine at the farm. Every time they would normally go up to Michigan and take the RV up to Michigan and be at the farm, their Starlink works fine, but not this time, apparently. At least last time I talked to my parents before the phone went, not just kidding, we don't have signal anymore. Bye. So we'll see. You never know. More to follow. I'll probably put an update in the community tab if the videos are going to not come out as normally scheduled. You'll see an update in the community tab for you all for that. But, you know, these things, they happen. You know, family comes first. So, I will be up there with family in Michigan. I'm loving this. Oh, I'm so excited because mandalas are just like, oh, I love mandalas. So I'm like, yay, mandalas. This makes me happy, so very, very happy. I mean, look at that. Look how beautiful that is turning out. The colors, and I can't wait to do the greens. I'm purposefully saving all of those greens for the last. But the mandalas are gorgeous. It normally doesn't take me this long to do a paint gem, but because you have to factor in like the whole first however long was just talking OP. And kind of getting it ready, but not actually doing anything. So now we're into the actual work portion. So this part goes a little bit faster when I'm actually doing. But this is a lot of like single placing with some drills into here, getting them to snap down. Oh, yes. The other thing that I needed to mention from this week. So my car, I think I had said last week that I dropped my car off to get fixed and I got the rental car. Well, I got a phone call from the collision center on Monday. And they were like, hey, so there was more damage to the car than we had originally estimated, which is fine because the insurance company is going to pay for it. But so we have to also, in addition to all the other things pieces and parts that they were going to replace, they're like, we also have to replace the headlight and we have to replace the entire bumper, because they thought they were only going to have to replace like a portion, like a piece that comes off of it, but they're like, no, we have to replace the entire bumper that extends, like goes around the entire, if this is my car, they have to replace the entire bumper that wraps around, and the damage is on this part of my car, and they were going to have to replace like a piece here, and a portion of the piece here. They have to replace that headlight, and then also the entire bumper and the fender, because it was like, I knew they had to do the fender piece, but they also have to do the entire bumper. So the bumper isn't slated to, that part, they've ordered it, but it's not slated to arrive until the 31st of May. And I'm like, seriously? I want my car back. I'm a creature of habit. I do not like driving this rental car for that long. I want my car back. I want to drive my car. I like my car. It is my car for a reason. I have purposefully not purchased a new car because I like driving that car. And I have yet to find like the perfect replacement car for that car. So I am still driving this rental car. And I will be driving this rental car for a while because thankfully my insurance plan covers the rental car. I purposefully pay like a little bit extra on my insurance plan so that I do have that rental car coverage, because I can't even imagine what I would, like, the cost if I was going out of pocket for a rental car right now. Oh man, that would just be, that would be atrocious. Knowing that I would be paying for a rental car for an entire month. Whew, that would be a hefty, well, for like a 6-week period of time, that would be a hefty rental car bill. And I'd be like, no, thank you. So, yeah. That's something I am happy to not have to worry about. So, yeah. But yeah, the rental car, that was the new excitement, was like that I'm stuck with that rental car for even longer, as much as I want my car back. Because once the part comes in, they replace the part, and then they have to paint the car, or paint that whole front end of the car. Because I mean, my car is bright green, so they'll have to paint it to match. So, yeah, I'm like, I want my car back. I like my car. Yeah. Woe is me. Anywho, I'm excited for the new release tomorrow to get that Margaret Morales, because that one is a beautiful one. And look at that. I just finished the border, and now I can go into the greens, which I will do offline when I am done editing this video and getting it posted. I will finish all of these greens. But I'm going to turn on the light so you guys can see this better. So let me turn it on. Make it nice and bright where we get that glare that I purposefully did not give you guys. But look at the colors. Isn't that pretty? I like these mandala pieces. The mandalas, I love patterns and symmetry and all of that. But look at how colorful that is. Super pretty. Fun kit to do. And I'm excited that I have 12 mandalas to work on. And that was all that I have for you guys for today's WIP and Chat. I could show off my Mochi. Mochi has moved into her box. I have Mochi's resident box is back in action. She's been not using her box for a hot minute, but she has decided the box is worthy again. So she is back in the box. So we have a resident box cat again. Ugh. Here is our box cat. Tiny box cat. Mochi. Moch. Hey. There. Oh, you eye booger. Oh, there. And the box looks filthy from all of her little drool spots. Those are her drool spots. She's had this box for almost a year now. That's how long she's had this box that she's been laying in. This tiny little box. Crazy little kitten. She's a little stinker. Yeah, she got this box on May 2nd. So she's had that box for a year. May 2nd of 2023, Mochi got this box. Yes, you did, baby. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys for today. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.